The Lakers' next move has been revealed, and following what has been one of the craziest NBA trade deadlines in recent memory, Rob Pelinka's focus has now shifted to the buyout market, and a brand new report has dropped revealing not only what his plan is for the buyout market, but the player that he is targeting. We're going to break down this and discuss what this means going forward as the Lakers prepare for what is going to be a crazy next few days and weeks as the buyout market continues to get thinner and thinner, and as we see Luka Doncic and Mark Williams make their Lakers debut. But before we get into all that, folks, if you're part of the 86% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Lakers content. And if you're a part of that percentage, you're enjoying the content, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your daily support. And if you're enjoying the daily videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But ladies and gentlemen, the Lakers made a two-way signing earlier today that we covered. And of course, it was a very interesting signing, but they still remain active in the buyout market as they still have a roster spot available. And a recent report has dropped revealing some big information. I want to start with this. This is from Anthony Irwin. Reminder, the Lakers can offer more money than most teams in the buyout market because they didn't use their exception over the summer. So I want to start with this before getting into another report revealing the type of player that they are targeting here. So you can see this here. The Lakers now, because they're over the first apron, they're not able, unfortunately, to sign the guys who make over $12.8 million a year, whether that be Bruce Brown, whether that be recently waived Ben Simmons. The Lakers are not in the market for any of those type of players, which I know a lot of you guys in the comments are saying, go for Bruce Brown, all these guys. Unfortunately, they can't. However, they do have the ability to offer more money than most of the other teams in the buyout market because they didn't use their exception over the summer. And that definitely gives them a leg up alongside the leg of if you're a veteran player, a player who's trying to get a chance at the NBA again, or even just a player who's bought out from a bad team wants to compete. The Lakers are probably the number one option with Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Now, that being said, obviously Rob Pelinka is in an interesting spot right now. We obviously know about Patty Mills. Patty Mills is the player I want to go over today because Patty Mills has been linked in numerous different talks surrounding, the Lakers. And of course, now that he is a buyout candidate, things start to get very interesting. The Lakers' priority on the buyout market has to be replacing Shake Milton's minutes with an NBA player. Now, this report dropped and it made me start to think, okay, so if the Laker, according to sources, priority is replacing Shake Milton's minutes, and this was, of course, coming following yesterday's game against the Warriors, Milton has looked very rough. And I covered in the video earlier today whether Goodwin can help maybe replace Shake Milton, play a different spot. I think ultimately Goodwin's going to be the, maybe a third-string shooting guard for this team. If they're looking for a third-string point guard that can provide some shooting and veteran presence, Patty Mills is that guy. Because you look at the potential buyout candidates among, of course, player the Lakers can sign, because again, this is the list of players who are making under $12.8 million. You look at Seth Curry, obviously Josh Richardson, and then you see Patty Mills. Now, we'll have videos on Josh Richardson and Seth Curry. I see you guys down below, and let me know what player you kind of want me to discuss next. Obviously, there's been some reports about Patty Mills, some rumors there, so I'm going to cover him. Patty Mills would fit perfectly. Now, you use this report from Anthony Irwin saying that they need to replace Shake Milton, which I tend to agree with. Of course, they got Shake Milton in the Dorian Finney-Smith trade. Things got interesting there. He hasn't really produced to the level that we've seen him be able to produce. And then you look at, Patty Mills and the player that he has been over the course of his career, and things start to get extremely interesting. How would he fit with this Lakers team? Okay, you have Doncic, Austin Reaves, Hachimura, LeBron, and Mark Williams, right? And of course, your backup point guard has been Gabe Vincent as of late with some, Shake Milton minutes as well. And Gabe Vincent, to his credit, has started to play a lot better than, he was at the start of the season. And Gabe Vincent has kind of carved out that backup point guard role to a degree. And once Luka is healthy, you can have Austin Reaves running, I guess not the backup point guard role, but the pseudo point guard role when, Luka Doncic is taking rest and all these different things. And you look at the roster post-deadline, it has, become very, very interesting. You have Luka, Austin Reaves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron, and Mark Williams. Now, as you start to look at Patty Mills' stats here, and we'll dive back into the roster a little bit and how he fits. I want to get into his stats a little bit. Now, like a lot of these buyout players, and we've been discussing them for a bit, none of these guys that are, that the Lakers are able to get because, again, they're over the first apron, are going to be players who had great stats or anything like that. But Patty Mills, he's a veteran. He's 36 years old. He's always shot the three ball fairly well. A bit worse over the past couple seasons with the Clippers, the Jazz, Miami, Atlanta. He's been bouncing around teams. But you can see the upside there. With Miami, a team that was competing last season in 2023-2024, in 13 games, he put up 5 points a game. He didn't shoot well from the three, but he gave some sort of production. But you think back to 2020, 2021, at the very least, what you want from a player, specifically the Lakers' point of view, right? You're at a point now where you have a few options, but none of these guys are going to be game changers. So if you're not going to be able to get a game changer in the buyout market, you want someone on a game-to-game basis that can come in and fill holes that you have for 5 to 10 minutes a game. And that's why Patty Mills would be perfect for this spot. He can help replace what Shake Milton is bringing. He can provide some more veteran leadership. He can provide some more three-point shooting, which now, because they got rid of Dalton Connect, that three-point shooting makes a bit more sense. Now, again, he hasn't shot great over the past few seasons. There's been some up and down seasons, but during the peak of his career, specifically with the Spurs and even the Nets for a bit, he was as high as at 40, 42, 43% shooter from three. He's a great three-point shooter. And if you give him consistent minutes, which I'm not saying the Lakers will, but you have a team right now that is lacking a little bit of shooting off the bench. Gabe Vincent's starting to shoot better. Jared Vanderbilt, you need more shooting. Jared Vanderbilt can shoot the ball occasionally. He's not a great three-point shooter by any means, right? So now you get Shake Milton in there. And then, of course, Dorian Finney-Smith, who is, funny enough, on this depth chart, ranked as the third behind LeBron in the second. It is what it is. ESPN's depth chart's hit or miss. You're going to have Dorian Finney-Smith off the bench if he's not starting, of course, with Rui Hachimura. But in replacement of Rui Hachimura, sorry. But as you put Patty Mills there, let's say he's your third string point guard, right? It gives some veteran presence. It adds an extra layer of shooting, and he'll just be able to play alongside LeBron, I think, a lot better than what they're currently getting from Shake Milton. And that's not to say that I think, Patty Mills is necessarily a better player than Shake Milton at this point, but it will provide some competitive edge, competitive nature to this team. So then Shake Milton will hopefully, at the very least, have to work harder and play better. But if not, you give Patty Mills a chance to, resurgence his career a little bit, playing alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. You can have that career resurgence, things could look good. Now, as you start to look at the roster post-deadline, this is from Jovan Buha. He has a starting lineup as Luka, Austin Reaves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Mark Williams. And I've been adamant on this, channel discussing about how I think this is going to be what the starting lineup is come, let's say, playoff time, and in a month or two, a few weeks, once they've played alongside each other in, let's say, 4 to 6 weeks. That being said, I think to start on Monday, Rui Hachimura is going to be in where Dorian Finney-Smith is, and then they rock the rest of the lineup there. And as you look at the bench, if Dorian Finney-Smith is in the starting lineup, you have Rui Hachimura off the bench, who's been fantastic shooting from three. So that instantly makes your three-point shooting really improved off the bench. You have Gabe Vincent, who's been a solid shooter. Other than that, a shooter as of late, that is, you don't really have much three-point shooting. You add Patty Mills in there, it gives some competitive, you have to then have Shake Milton competing for a spot. You have an open spot there. And I think compared to a lot of the other players, Patty Mills is probably one of the better options, especially given the fact that they're looking to, get a point guard / shooting guard type player. Seth Curry would also be great if you're looking strictly for less playmaking, less of, controlling the game and more just shooting. Seth Curry would be that. Defensively, Josh Richardson makes a ton of sense. We're going to have tons of videos coming out both on Josh Richardson and Seth Curry and all these guys. But after this report came out, the guy that immediately came to my mind was Patty Mills, and I saw a few guys in the comments talking about it. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on that. A couple of other things as well. Speaking about the point guard role and how, Luka's going to fit in. LeBron said, I don't really see a challenge. The ball will be in Luka's hands. It's going to be in Austin Reaves' hands. Two great decision makers. So ultimately, they have a lot of on-ball creators. So anybody that they get in the buyout market, they're not going to be playing a ton, right? You're going to have Austin Reaves. You're going to have Luka Doncic. The bench units are going to be run by one of those guys at the point guard spot. You have Shake Milton when you need it. I would like to see them replace Shake Milton's minutes with an NBA player, which I think Patty Mills still has the potential to be, albeit he's 36. And as you look at the upcoming games, starting Monday when Luka comes back, you have a chance to really not only integrate Luka well, but win a ton of games. They should win each and every one of these games starting tomorrow, even though they're without Luka Doncic and Mark Williams. Hopefully Monday we'll see Mark Williams and Luka. And then from there, you continue to pile on the wins. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. We're going to keep you up to date with all the latest news. Tons of things are coming out. Let me know down below what buyout target you want. Who do you think the Lakers should get and who you want to see me talk about next? But ladies and gentlemen, that'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for watching. Cheers.